you. You're a Benjamin, yes,
Yes, correct.
not a Ben.
No.
I'm my full name is Benedict.
Okay.
Yeah, and I swam the Ultra Ebre last year actually,
Okay.
and I came in last, which is great.
Okay, but you succeeded.
Exactly. I finished last, and I was very happy to do that. So tell me about you, Benjamin. What is your reason for swimming? What is your history? Why do you do this?
So I'm a swimmer since I was a teenager. I always liked swimming, and when I was young, I was also very good at swimming.
Okay,
So and it always gave me a lot of joy when I was younger. So then I started
what what
studying.
what was the joy? What did it give you? What was the thing that made you happy in swimming? Was it the isolation, being on your own?
Well, when I was younger, you were not by yourself. It was also about the community around it. So you have fun together. You go to swimming races. And I was a very energetic kid. And swimming was, I think, the best way to channel my energy. And what I think is really fun to see that I have a daughter and a son. And my son, he joined me in some practices last year. Yeah, in open water swimming. He said, "Can I join you?" I said, "Yeah, sure." And then in September he started swimming as well when he
Great,
was 10.
great.
And after his first um training, then he came home totally knackered. He's a rugby player. He can play rugby for 10 hours. But if he swims for 1 or 2 hours, he is just completely energy drained. And that I recognized from me as a kid when I was younger. It was just the perfect way to channel my energy and also to have fun with other children and that's what I still do today, actually. Yeah.
Yeah,
And
it's
for
it's
me, it is
it's a
also very, very mindful. You're in the water, you're focused, you're breathing, you have rhythm. Um, when I had some philosophical discussions with myself recently, also about the swimming when I was a teenager, because I was going through some rough periods at home with my family situation. But I came out of that as a happy teenager because I always had swimming as my outlet. I swam
mm,
every day. So that was my escape, maybe, when I was a teenager for a specific period. And
that's fascinating. The idea that you have gone that deep into the thinking about it is really interesting. Um, and I understand that. I come from that background too, to a degree, and I had a very happy family, so that wasn't the issue. But I spent a lot of time in the water at school, and I wasn't sure why.
hmm,
It just happened.
yeah,
And then I thought about it. I'm now 56 years old, and I thought about it recently, thinking, well, I must have enjoyed it. It
yeah,
must have been good, and it was good for, as you say, for the mind. But when you're a teenager, you don't have that philosophy, if you like. But I'm
yeah,
interested. You've really thought about the
yeah,
how that helped you.
and maybe zooming even further out, what are other influences that make you swim? I think the basic in enjoying swimming is starts with interaction with your parents and what their philosophy is in swimming. So my father, he loves swimming. He also did swimming in school. He was good at swimming. So I looked up to him when I was a kid. I thought, oh, I also wanna do that. So, and then he would take me into the deep part, even though I wasn't allowed. And then my father would have discussions with the swimming safety guy. He said, you have to go out. He said, yeah, but I'm with him. It's okay. And so that was an enabler. And so if I look at how I treat my own children, I went swimming with them since they were a baby. And they also teach you, yeah, if they swallow water or they're afraid, and you're like, oh, are you okay? And that will make them feel afraid. If you say, okay, that's fun, here we go. So that was the basics. And I think I also translated that to my kids nowadays. So whether it's snorkeling or swimming outdoor in outdoor water, that can be a big hurdle for people, outdoor water. But my father said, yeah, everywhere we went, he would jump in the sea. So everywhere I go, I jump in the sea. Everywhere my son now goes, he jumps in the water. And that is a nice vibe if you connect it to positive emotions, of course.
That's great. That's a great story. And it is about generations. So it's father, son, so it goes on.
Yeah.
When I was, I think, 5 years old, my parents lived in Singapore. And my dad, we lived in a hotel for a bit because he was in a new job. And he just threw me in the water.
Okay.
And he just waited for me to either appear or drown.
Yeah.
And so I appeared and swam. So that was my lesson.
Okay, yeah.
In the water, off you go.
But maybe to complete the life cycle of my swimming history. So then I went studying. I got drunk every day. I made new friends. I stopped being sportive. Then I moved into playing rugby. I enjoyed playing rugby. And then later on in my 30s, then I had a colleague. He said, I'm training for a triathlon. Do you want to join? I said, yeah, why not? So then I started swimming again. I could still swim. Better than the average person. So that was also, okay, this is fun. Because in triathlon, what do you like best? Yeah, the things where you're better than the average person. So I hate cycling, so because I have an above average body mass index, so that is not helping me. Then I moved to this new area in the Netherlands, which is called Amersfoort. It's in the geographical middle point of the Netherlands. And do you know what is the best indicator for people to be obese or healthy? It is the postal code you live in. So what people do around you affects how you do. If I look outside, I see people running here every day. So the area I live in is quite a healthy area. There's a lot of sports activity. At one moment, I joined this triathlon club. I had a lot of fun. From there, I continued swimming on Monday and Friday mornings from 6 to 7, which is perfect for me because I go sporting without interfering with the family rhythm because I'm back at 7:15. So I became a better swimmer again. And then I started training for a full Ironman. Which I completed in Eastbourne, in south of London.
Yeah.
So I took 18 months to train, and I thought this is fantastic. Because you set a goal that you cannot achieve in the beginning, and you think, how is this possible? And then 18 months later, you start and you think, of course, I'm going to do this. I'm fully prepared. So I completed this full triathlon. And then the week later, I got a message from someone that I met there. And this person said, oh, you were the fastest swimmer of the entire field. And I said, oh, wow, that's amazing. I didn't know. And so that made me think, oh, maybe I should do something with this. If I'm the quickest swimmer, and I get the most joy out of swimming, why be so sadomasochistic and train for a triathlon? Why don't I look for a ultra swim, which is a long distance? And every 31st of December, we do 100 times 100 swim in my club. So that's a 10K. And so I did that 2 times already. And I thought, okay, well, I can do 10K. So if I do something challenging, it has to be a longer distance. So I started looking, what are long distances swims? And so in my desk research, I stumbled upon the Ultra Ebre. And I thought, okay, this seems like the next step for me. I cannot do that today, but I can do it if I train for it. So that's why I thought, okay, let's do this. And I like to have a challenge which is in a different country. If it is around the corner, that's less fun, because a lot of people in the Netherlands, they do in the middle of the Netherlands, you have the big sea, which is now a lake, and they do the sea crossing, which is, I think, 22 kilometers or something. And I thought, everybody does the sea crossing, it's 22. I want a bigger challenge. So that's why I thought, okay, it's something abroad, which is exotic, and then I will start training for that. So at the same time, I was also part of a group called 365 days a year swimming. And every Sunday morning, we go swimming in a lake around the corner. Even when the water is half frozen, we go swimming, but then we limit the time because of safety. So maybe it's a 15-minute swim, which is 1 kilometer. But if the water is 3 degrees Celsius, it's quite cold. So
tell me about the that's a great story, thank you. Tell me about the Ultra Ebre itself then. When did you swim it? Was it last did you swim it in 2025?
Yeah.
So I was in the same group. What was it like? What happened? For people who haven't done the event before, or are thinking about Ultra Ebre like you were one day on your desktop, how would you advise people to approach it and swim it?
The true experience is totally different from when you start from behind your laptop.
Yes.
I thought I need to swim 31 kilometers. So I was mentally prepared for that. And I was saying to myself, oh, the cutoff time is 9 hours. So I have to swim for maybe, if I do it fast, in 8.5 hours. So I think I wasn't prepared for the positive strong currents.
Yeah.
Because it makes it easier, of course. I think I was on time in the village. I was staying at a friend who lives there. She's a former colleague of mine. That was also part of the reason that I thought, oh, this is very nice. I can do this race and I can stay over at my friend. This is a perfect situation. And when I was staying with a friend, I was going to the hotel with the briefing, picking up the gear, and it was unclear from the program that the swimming would be also the day before in the river. I thought it is training in a swimming pool.
Yeah.
But for me, that was the perfect preparation, because it was a good test as to what was to come the day after. And I never swam in that current. And I think if you look at that current from the side, that will never be a situation that you will think, I'm going to jump into this river and swim down. It is because it is organized, because you have canoers, you have boats, it is safe. You think it's safe because someone else is also swimming there. But I think it was quite surprising. I saw the water and I thought, oh, holy moly, I'm not going to swim in this. So that first trial the day before, I think, was a very good starting moment.
Yeah.
And then that made me feel very much at ease for the race the day after, because I had done a lot of training and I was thinking, okay, if this is the case, I'm going to make it anyways. It's just a question on how long I will take for it.
Yeah. So good on you. You finished it. What I didn't look at the time, your time. What did you finish it in?
Yeah, 6 hours, 9 minutes or something.
Okay. I was about 1 hour behind you.
Okay.
I was 7 hours. Well done. You completed it, and fantastic. And it wasn't as bad as you thought, as all these things usually are. When you think about it too much, it becomes a problem. But the actual thing itself, when you do it, it's actually not that big.
There was 2 things that I thought were a challenge. That was when you encounter the counter current.
Yeah.
And in that period that you have to swim from the one bridge to the other bridge, that bridge never seemed to come close.
That was tough. Yeah.
And for me, it was more a mental race, because I didn't know how long I still had to swim. So, and my canoer didn't know. So I was like, okay, do you know how long we still have to go? She said, no, I have no idea. Is it in that bend? I don't know. So that was maybe mentally the toughest part. And then when I saw she said, I think it's over there. Well, then I could swim twice the speed again, because I didn't know if I still had to swim 1 hour or 15 minutes or. But that I thought was so. If I would do it again, I think it's easier because you know the route, you know where you are.
Yeah, I had the same problem. It was a mental problem because none of us. My daughter was the kayaker, and we didn't know. We didn't know how far, how long. I kept saying, "Look at the distance on your watch. What have we done?"
Yeah.
And she goes, "Dad, I'm not sure. I think it's 30 kilometers, but I'm not. It could be 25."
Yeah.
I just. Anyway, good fun. Well done. I mean, I suppose on the last part of this, then, if you could just tell us about briefly what your challenge is for this year. What are you planning? Any plans coming up?
Yeah, but maybe you have the question: how do you focus your mind and body?
Okay, yeah. Tell me about how.
I think training is a big part.
Yeah.
So I did a lot of long distance trainings. So 5-hour swims, or I did a 12 times 2K swim as a training. And there I learned to focus my mind by stop thinking about how long do you have to go. Just lie in the water and enjoy the rhythm of the swimming. Enjoy, because it's like you're just swimming, okay, nice, and be happy, and then don't think how long do you still have to. So it's, for me, it was just do it, enjoy the swim, and stop thinking. And that was how to focus. And what kept me going, that was just that I wanted to complete it. I trained hard to do it, and I had one thing in mind, that I wanted to complete it. So My next challenge, yeah, I'm not sure yet. So after the Ultra Ebre, then I said, okay, I'm done swimming for now for a while. So and then I retook rugby. I got a shoulder injury and an injury in my wrist, and I couldn't swim. So 2 months ago, I started swimming again. So now I'm back in my recovery, and my next swim-related challenge will be in June. There's the swim run in Luxembourg.
Okay.
So, which I think swim run is a very fun combination, because you run, you get warm, and then you can swim as hard as you want, because it's 200-300 meter, and then you run a little bit, and then you're warm, and then if you hit the water, then you think, oh, this is nice. It's cold water, and then you swim. So this, I think it's a 28-kilometer swim run in Luxembourg.
Okay, that sounds fun. Yeah, that sounds good. Well, you've got a good story, Benjamin. Thank you.